I'm Mike,
Hi, I'm Jalene,
and we
and
love to
we
fast.
love to fast.
So, Jalene, what's new? It's been what, almost 3 weeks since we were. Gosh, that's a long time.
Yeah.
But the holidays will do it to you. And
Yeah, there's just so much going on in my life, and I know there's been a lot going on in your life, and
yes, yes,
but it's nice to be back and reconnect and find a little balance again.
yes, it is. And
Mhm.
I've been working out in the gym a lot. And you went car shopping, you and Alan, and got a new Jeep.
We did. Boy, was that like we learned a lot about shopping for cars. We learned about a lot about car dealers. It was quite the ordeal.
Car de-
But we
car
got the most beautiful Jeep. He's so happy.
car dealers can be the worst or they can be the best.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness Alan really knows a lot about cars. So he was able to, look at the engine and, we discovered a few of the Jeeps that we drove had really bad oil leaks.
Oh,
And
mm.
yeah. So, and, we couldn't afford to buy something new. So we wanted to buy something that was still in pretty good shape. And we found it. So it took about 2 weeks, but
Look who just popped up.
hi, Mom. See you this afternoon, Mom. I'm gonna go spend time with her today.
So, what is our subject for today?
We're gonna talk about late night eating.
Sabotage.
Yes, self-sabotage and late night eating.
I know all about that.
Well, good. Then you can start, and I'll just jump in with my thoughts. I don't do a lot of late night eating. I've never really been a late night eater unless I go out with my girlfriends, and
Mhm.
that's a totally separate issue.
Well, I think the number one thing that prompted me to be a late night eater, and when I say a late night eater, I don't mean before I went to bed, I mean after I went to bed.
Interesting.
And I think the number one cause of that was my addiction to carbs
Mm.
because I love me some carbs. Still
Mm-hmm.
do. I still do.
Mm-hmm.
They're still a struggle. And on the top of my refrigerator, there would always be a box of Cheez-Its.
Mm-hmm.
I was a Cheez-It addict. I don't have any now. We hadn't bought Cheez-Its and I don't know when. But a lot of that's because of my tastes have changed and my desire for other foods. Uh, but I would wake up in the middle of the night and eat two handfuls of Cheez-Its and then go right back to bed and go right back to sleep. And, and my daughter, my oldest daughter, told me that she does the same thing. So it must be just something in our genetic makeup and our metabolism. But uh, yeah,
Yeah.
I think my addiction to carbs is played a big part in that.
Gosh, I used to love Cheez-Its. I can't eat flour anymore, and I haven't for about, I don't know, 10 years. Occasionally I do, but it doesn't like me. It makes me like my face swells up and
Really?
gives me a lot of inflammation. But I used to love the Parmesan Cheez-Its.
Oh,
I think it was Parmesan, the white ones. White. I think it was white cheddar actually.
yes.
There's something about that crunch and the salt and the cheesiness. So
And then
I totally do the
I
same.
was also addicted to the hot and spicy ones.
Ooh, I never tried those.
Oh, they were so
I'm
good.
glad because I would have been totally addicted to that.
Yeah.
Okay, here comes my cat. She just jumped right on the table.
Okay. Well, you're frozen up on my end on the video, so
Oh
maybe
no,
it'll,
am I?
yeah, but it's
Oh,
okay. We can still talk and they can still hear us on the video and it'll
oh,
catch.
bummer because my cat just walked right in front of the camera. Get down, Taylor.
Okay, I could
Get-
I can look over on my computer and I see the kitty cat now. So
oh, that's so funny. Get down.
what's the kitty cat's name?
Her name's Taylor.
Taylor?
Taylor
Okay.
Swift. Because when we first got her, we found her at a park. She was dumped.
Uh-huh.
Somebody had declawed her
Oh my goodness.
and then dumped her in the park.
That's not that's
And
that's not natural for a cat to be outside and be
no, no.
declawed.
So she can be really mean at times. And so we used to sing, "Why You Gotta Be So Mean,"
Yeah.
Taylor Swift song. So that's how she got her name. But I don't blame her. If somebody cut off my fingernail or my fingertips, I'd be mean too.
Absolutely.
You know?
We got three cats. We got one girl and two guys, and they're all fixed, but they all got their claws, and
Yeah.
yeah, they
That's the way it should be.
yeah.
I was a vet tech for many years, and it's the vet that I worked for would not do that procedure
Mm.
and told me how it's done. And it's basically just taking their whole
Hey,
nail bed.
hey,
Hi, Sheila.
Courtney.
Yeah. So,
Courtney just
anyways,
popped in. But back to sabotage.
yes.
Uh, the sabotage late at night
Mm,
went away when I started getting deeper and deeper into intermittent fasting.
yeah.
It it fixed itself.
You were
I,
fueling your body with the foods that it needed so you didn't wake up in the night feeling hungry. And you probably were also having less sugar spikes.
yes,
You know, a lot of people wake up in the middle of the night because their blood sugar spikes,
yes.
um, which makes them feel hungry,
You know, I
which is the
used
worst thing to do is to
yeah.
eat when your blood sugar is up. But
I used to think it was everything else. I used to think, well, I'm getting older, I just have to pee more. And then I thought, well, it's my sleep apnea kicking in. But
mhm,
after looking back at all of that and having intermittent fasting fix the problem for me, I know
mhm,
now it's just what you said. I was having one of those episodes and I needed to fuel that.
yeah,
And just had a talk with a fella that I've known for years, and he's just now going to start on fasting. And he says, "Well, I know how to fast." He said, "You know, he's an ordained minister and he's done fasting before." I said,
mhm,
"Well, do you know how to clean fast?" And so I
mhm,
sent him a whole bunch of information about clean fasting, and of course he had never heard about that.
mhm,
So we had about an hour long phone conversation yesterday, and I know that the clean fast, and you know it too, and so many
mhm.
other people do, that clean fast is what's going to fix a lot of those things.
Yeah. If, in my opinion, if you're not fasting clean, you're not fasting.
You've blown
And I
it.
know not everybody agrees with that, and there's plenty of groups that do the so-called dirty fasting.
Hmm.
But I can't get behind that.
No, no, I can't either because uh, I know what works,
Hmm.
and I know the clean fast works. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm not. I'm, I want to think that Jen Stevens was the one who discovered that, but I'm sure that, others have discovered it too, the clean fast, without having read her book. But uh, if, and just to anybody out there, if you've not read Fast Feast Repeat,
Hmm.
you are truly, truly missing out. I suggest you go to Amazon, get you a copy, and read it before you go any further. And and
Yeah.
she's going to talk about sabotaging in that book,
Hmm.
and she's got a lot to say about it.
I just got her revised Delay Don't Deny. Have you read this one?
No,
She just revised it a few months ago. So I had listened to it before on audiobooks, but I decided to buy the actual hard copy. So I'm in my group. We're going to start going through it chapter by chapter. Oh, sorry, I showed you the wrong one. This is this is the revised Delay Don't
okay,
Deny. But I also bought this companion book that goes with it. It's a journal.
okay,
So you can go through it chapter by chapter and just kind of dig deeper into each chapter. And I thought, it's just a good reminder to me, and it's a good way for me to help the people in the
Well,
community. So
I'm looking forward to that, or going
too.
through that with you. So I'll go ahead and see about ordering a copy of that. I tell you, just on another note, and this is not to do with Sabotage, but I just ordered another book that was recommended by all people, my orthopedic surgeon, and recommended a book. And when I get it, I'm going to review it and I'll be posting it on my group. But I've read some of the things that are in the book already. And this is a doctor that wrote the book, and he believes in fasting, which is one of the reasons why my orthopedic surgeon got intrigued with what I was doing. And you know, he sees another doctor saying, "Hey, this is good stuff."
Hmm.
So this guy, he talks about fasting. He talks about eating properly, uh, and he also talks about as you age, you need to start working out with weight training.
Yeah.
And
You
he
start to lose muscle after the age of 50. Just goes
so so
downhill.
me going back into the gym and everything like that,
Mm.
I'm excited about reading this book, and I'll be excited about going through your book, going through Jen's book with you on your group. That's I love this whole community.
I know, me too. It's the best. It's so supportive, and there's, not a lot of there's no fighting about if it's clean or
No,
not.
no,
There's no room in our groups for that. But
no.
there's plenty of other groups that people can join.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
yeah,
If they don't want to clean fast, they can find plenty of groups out there that do, the
exactly.
dirty fast or whatever.
But
But
I know I've been in the community long enough that I've seen people come in, get angry because they can't have cream in their coffee and leave,
hmm
and then they come back
yeah,
because it's not sustainable. Like if you're putting cream in your coffee, you're making the fast, which really isn't a fast, but you're making it so much harder. You're white knuckling it. And
okay,
once you remove it, and you go through like, the first couple of weeks, your body goes, "Oh, I know what I'm doing." And it's so much easier.
okay. Back to Sabotage before we get too far. We're just having so much fun. But back to Sabotage. Um,
Yes.
if I break my fast with carbs, I struggle the rest of the day.
Hmm.
If I break my fast with eggs or something that has a protein to it, or even vegetables, I'm okay.
Hmm.
So that's another form of sabotage, is breaking your fast with the wrong things. If you're
Yes.
having, if you're struggling with grazing and just whatever, try changing up what you're breaking your fast with. And then the third thing that I would say is, uh, what is the last thing that you're putting in your mouth to close your eating window?
Hmm.
I can't testify for everybody else, but I can say that if I get that big old spoon of peanut butter and eat that peanut butter, that big old dollop of protein right there at the end of my fast, I do much better. Hey, Danielle, I do much better that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. It's so important the way you open your fast, but also the way you close it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's my three things about sabotage. What's your things?
So for me, sabotage, since I don't really have a lot of late night eating experience, what I noticed in my journey when I started to get really close to what I considered a goal weight, I would always sabotage myself. And I had to
Really?
really, yeah, I had to dig, like, I would just be so close to either the jeans that I wanted to fit or the scale, which I don't use the scale much anymore. But back then, there was a time where I would get, like 5 pounds almost to my goal. And then I would self sabotage. And I had to really dig deep to figure out what was going on. And I think I was afraid of failure. And so I was self-sabotaging. Or
So this
I,
sabotage was in your
it
head.
was completely in my head.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
And I think also because I felt like I always had to reach my goal. I was so afraid I wasn't going to get there that I would slide backwards a little bit. So
Okay.
I try to be really gentle with myself now and not have a goal weight. I just want to feel good.
Okay.
And if my goal is to feel good, I tend to stay on track better.
Talking about that goal weight,
Mm.
uh, I'm kind of on a plateau right now. I have been for a couple of months, you know. Uh, and since I changed up things and don't do the extended fasting as much, I'm doing a 20 and 4 with Miss Vicky because that works for her.
Yeah.
Uh, my weight has just kind of stayed the same. Now I'm building up muscle mass, and muscle weighs more than, but my weight is staying right there.
Hmm. You
So
look like you're getting toner though. And that's exactly what it is. You're getting
yes,
tone.
I'm having
You're losing
I'm
you're
ha-
losing fat, but you're gaining muscle.
I'm having some body recomposition
Hmm.
going on. And when I
Yeah.
get to a certain spot within that body recomposition, then I know that the weight's going to fall off. I,
Hmm.
you and I have talked about the scale is not the driving force.
Hmm.
It's been almost 2 weeks since I stepped on a
Oh,
scale.
oh wow.
And I took a shower after me and Vicky went to the gym. I took a shower after we came home so my beard would be nice and pretty for everybody. But
You look fabulous.
I stepped on the scale and that weight was just right there where it's been for the past month
Hmm.
through the holidays, through the not sticking with a window or expanding the window because
Yeah.
company was over or this, that, and the other.
Hmm.
It's right there. And I
That's
said,
a win right there.
I looked at that number on the scale. I'm standing there just out of the shower, dried off, and I'm standing there and I just went, hmm, how about that? And so the thing about weighing yourself is I am so glad that I'm going by everything else other than what that scale says.
Have you taken your measurements since you started working out?
No?
You should. You should. Because when I didn't use the scale, I did do measurements, and just to see like my waist getting smaller and smaller, inches. That's huge. That's body recomposition.
Well,
I recommend that you take measurements.
okay, I'll do. I just happen to have one of.
This was not planned, people.
No, it wasn't. That's setting up the. One of these days, I'll turn the camera around and give you a guided tour of my cave. You'll freak out. There's so much junk in here, but it's all junk that's a part of me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, treasures. They're treasures. Can I say something really quick before I forget?
Go.
Have you ever, before you started doing fasting, like during the holidays, did you normally gain weight during the holidays? Because I always did before
Absolutely.
fasting. I always gained probably 5, maybe even closer to 10 pounds every
'Cause-
holiday.
Okay. Okay.
So that
Oh,
right there is a huge win.
okay.
Sorry.
Here we go. Last year at this time, I had been to the orthopedic surgeon at the very beginning of December, and he said, "Okay, we need to do that knee, but you've got to lose weight." And I
Okay.
said, Okay. And so I had not consulted with Courtney. I didn't know anything about intermittent fasting, so I went back to what had worked before. I said, well, I just need to do low carb. And so I launched into low carb, and then the holidays came, and you know, there I was. And when I went back to weigh in at the orthopedic surgeon early in January, he wanted me to come back and weigh in. I gained weight, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And he said, well, I don't know. He said, do you want me to write you a prescription for Ozempic? I said, no, I don't want to do that. Let me just keep trying something. And I tried low carb for another week or so, and I just got so frustrated. And then I
Mm-hmm.
found Courtney. Well, I didn't find Courtney. I'd known Courtney for years, but
We found her story.
I found her story.
Mm-hmm.
And the next time I went back to the doctor, because he told me, he said, well, just don't even come, don't even, we won't schedule anything. When you get down on your weight, let me know and we'll. And so I did, and I called and went back. And of course, I'd shot past the goal that he wanted me to be at. And I was, you know,
Amazing.
10 pounds below
Yeah.
that. And he's like, what are you doing? And I told him, and at that point, it didn't register with him how that
Mm-hmm.
could work. Just like it doesn't register with a lot of medical professionals how that could work.
So
But
fascinating.
now that he's read that book by that other doctor, and that other doctor talks about fasting and these other things, he's like, okay, I understand now. And he said,
Mm-hmm.
you keep doing what you're doing. And I
I
said,
love that
and I said,
so much.
don't worry, I will, doc.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
sabotage, it can be in your head or it can be in what you eat.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to sabotage.
It really is. For me, my goal has to always be bigger than just weight loss. Otherwise,
Yes,
I will sabotage myself.
mine,
So,
mine, my goals now are so huge,
mm,
uh, more than weight loss. And a
yeah.
matter of fact, I've gotten to the point where I say now, I don't care what my weight is anymore.
Mm,
I care what my health is.
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
more important to me because if my
Mm,
health gets right, then my weight is going to normalize at a certain point, and
mm.
that's going to be it, and I'll be just fine, you know.
Yep, exactly.
Hey, this has been great.
Yeah, so good to see you.
I know,
I was gonna say
I
in
know.
person, but
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
almost in person.
Well, you're a West Coaster, you know. It would be a long flight for the two of us to ever meet each other, but
Someday we're gonna meet.
who knows?
I had a dream just a few weeks ago. I had a dream that there was a conference, an IF conference, somewhere in the South. And I traveled with a bunch of people on a bus to go to it. Jen was presenting, you were going to be there. Wendy was going, just everybody in our community.
Amy Joe.
Yeah, Sheila was on the bus with me. Amy Jo was going to be there. And there was a big storm in my dream, but we all like just hunkered down and we were like all laughing that, thank goodness that we're fasters because we had to wait till the storm was over to eat. And it was such a crazy, it was a bunch of weird stuff happened because
Well,
dreams are just
who knows?
strange, but
Who knows?
yeah.
Maybe that'll be a thing.
Yep.
And
Yep. Sheila, let's do it.
if it is,
Let's,
I'll be there.
yeah. Sheila says, let's create our own conference.
Hey, I swear, Sheila's a mess,
Yeah.
ain't she?
Yeah.
She is a
That'd be cool.
mess. Love that gal. Well, let's
Yeah.
wrap this thing up, and I'll go
Okay.
ahead and put it on YouTube, and then you can do your thing, and then we can do our thing, and put it on all the groups, and it'll just be wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks for everybody who's tuned in live. We love you. We
Love you
really do.
guys.
Love you, Janelle.
Love you too. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Bye.